Ever wonder what happens when a self-proclaimed neighborhood queen parks in a handicapped spot, screams she's above the law, and gets slapped with handcuffs in front of a cheering crowd? Let me take you back to a chaotic Saturday at Westfield Grocery, where I witnessed the most jaw-dropping showdown of entitlement I've ever seen. Picture this: I'm in the checkout line, bags of chips and soda in hand, when a commotion outside grabs my attention. Through the giant storefront windows, I see a woman in a sleek lavender tracksuit, flailing her arms at a police officer like she's auditioning for a reality show. Her shiny silver BMW SUV is sprawled across a handicapped spot right by the Entrancino placard, "No permit, just pure audacity." Even from inside, her voice pierces through the glass, shrill and indignant. "I was only gonna be a minute," she shrieks, her manicured nails slashing the air. "Do you even know who I am?" I did. That was Laura Hensley, the infamous president of our Pinewood Estates HOA, a woman who'd been terrorizing our neighborhood for 3 years with her obsessive rulebook. This was the same Laura who'd sent me 4 violation notices last month because my trash can lingered on the curb 2 hours past pickup. The irony of her now breaking an actual law after nitpicking everyone else's every move was almost too delicious. I paid for my groceries and hustled outside, unable to resist watching this drama unfold up close. Laura had built her empire on enforcing neighborhood rules with the precision of a drill sergeant. Just last week, she'd called an emergency HOA meeting to debate shifting the approved shade of beige for house exteriors by a fraction of a hue. She'd cruise our streets in that BMW, snapping photos of infractions, like a basketball hoop left out overnight, or a mailbox tilted an inch off center. Parking violations were her obsession. During my son's birthday party, she'd measured the distance between my guests' cars and the curb with a ruler. But here, outside her little fiefdom, Laura clearly thought the rules didn't apply to her. The parking lot was a zoo when I'd arrived. Weekend shopping always is. Instead of circling or parking farther out like the rest of us, she'd claimed the only handicap spot, the blue lines and wheelchair symbol glaring beneath her tires. "Ma'am, this is a designated handicap space," Officer Daniels said, his patience almost saintly. I knew him from our local precinct, a guy who didn't rattle easily. "The fine starts at $300, and you need to move your vehicle now." Laura tossed her perfectly highlighted blonde hair and scoffed. "Oh, please. I was just grabbing a few things. There were no other spots, and I'm not parking in the boonies like some nobody. Nobody was using this spot anyway." That's when I noticed an older man nearby, leaning heavily on a cane, his veteran's cap studded with military pins. His face was tight with frustration, and he was shifting his weight painfully from one leg to the other. I'd seen him pull into the lot right after Laura. He'd had to park in the farthest row and hobble across the asphalt jungle. "Actually, ma'am, I needed that spot," he said, his voice steady but firm. "I've got a prosthetic leg from my time in Iraq. That's why I have this." He held up a blue handicap placard. Laura barely glanced at him. "Well, you got your shopping done, didn't you?" "I had an emergency. I needed supplies for our HOA meeting tonight. I'm in charge of refreshments, and it's critical." I nearly choked. Comparing her snack run to a disabled veteran's struggle was a new low, even for her. A small crowd had gathered, some filming on their phones. A young woman stepped forward, addressing Officer Daniels. "I saw her park and sprint into the store," she said. "She was in there for almost 30 minutes while this man struggled across the lot. No placard. I checked before I called you." Laura's face turned beet red. "Are you spying on me? That's harassment. I'm reporting you to the manager." She spun back to Officer Daniels, her tone suddenly syrupy. "Officer, surely you have better things to do than hassle a respected community leader over a tiny issue. I just need to get home for our HOA meeting." Daniels didn't flinch. "Ma'am, blocking a handicapped space without authorization isn't a tiny issue. It's a state law violation. I need your license and registration, and you need to move your vehicle now." Instead of complying, Laura's eyes narrowed. "I want your supervisor. I'm friends with Chief Thompson, And he won't like how you're treating me. What's your badge number? She whipped out her phone, showing it in Daniel's face. I'm recording this from my lawyer. You're targeting me because I'm a successful woman with a nice car. This is discrimination. The veteran shook his head. Ma'am, this isn't about your car or your success. It's about respect for people with disabilities. These spaces aren't convenience-theory necessities for folks like me. Laura turned on him, venom in her voice. Oh, don't pull the VY-Tim card. My time is valuable. Do you know how many community issues I handle? How many property values I protect? My work benefits everyone, including you. The crowd gasped. Even for Laura, this was VY-lo. Officer Daniel's face hardened. Ma'am, this is your final warning. License and registration now, and move your vehicle. Refusing will escalate this. Laura clutched her designer purse and stepped back. I don't have to show you anything. I know my rights. I'm Leah VYing. She turned toward her car, keys jangling. That's when the air shifted. Daniel stepped forward, his voice commanding. Ma'am, if you enter that vehicle without Pro-VY-ding ID during a lawful stop, I'll arrest you for obstruction. Laura froze, then laughed, disbelief VYing. Arrest me? For parking? You're joking. I was only gonna be a minute. She pushed past him toward her door. Daniels gently but firmly grabbed her arm. Ma'am, hands behind your back. You're under arrest for obstruction and illegal parking. The shock on Laura's face was priceless. For the first time, her imperious attitude had crashed into an authority she couldn't bully. You can't do this! Do you know who I am? I'll have your job! She screamed as Daniels cuffed her, calmly reciting her Miranda rights. The crowd swelled, phones out, capturing every second. Laura's expression cycled from rage to shock to, finally, fear. Please, she whimpered, her voice small. This is a misunderstanding. I'm the Pinewood Estates HOA president. I can't be arrested. We have a vote tonight on new fencing rules. I couldn't resist. Maybe you should have thought of that before stealing a handicap spot. I called out. Heads nodded around me. Laura's eyes locked onto mine, blazing with recognition. You! This is your fault, always fighting my efforts to keep our neighborhood perfect. I shook my head. No, Laura. This is all you. You hounded me over trash cans, but you just committed a real crime. As Daniels led her to his cruiser, Laura's composure shattered. This'll ruin my reputation. I can't be seen like this. Please, I'll move my car now. Too late, Daniels said. Your vehicle's being towed, and you'll be booked. You can post bail at the station. The veteran watched quietly as Laura was loaded into the cruiser, her protests fading to sputters. He turned to us. Thank you for speaking up, he said. Too many get away with taking these spots. They don't get what they mean for folks like me. By evening, videos of Laura's meltdown had exploded online. One clip her dismissing the veteran racked up 50,000 views in hours. The next morning, an email announced an emergency HOA meeting to discuss recent events involving leadership. 3 days later, the board voted unanimously to oust Laura as president, citing VY or that tanked our community's values. But her troubles didn't end there. At her court hearing, the veteran gave a statement, and the judge wasn't buying Laura's sob story about a bad day. She got slapped with a DULA 1,000 fine, court costs, 40 hours of community service with disability advocacy groups, and 6 months probation. This'll go on my record, she wailed. I'm in real estate. My clients trust my reputation. The judge peered over his glasses. Maybe this'll teach you to respect the law and people with disabilities. As Laura shuffled out, clutching her purse like a lifeline, I thought of all the neighbors she tormented over mailbox colors, grass height, holiday lights. The woman who'd measured my wreaths to the millimeter now had a criminal record. All because she thought being HOA queen made her untouchable. Justice? Oh, it was served, and the whole neighborhood was here for it.